What if Germany won World War II? Well, to answer the what, we gotta answer the how. Hitler made notoriously three massive blunders: attacking the Soviets in the winter, letting Britain breathe after Dunkirk, and declaring war on the US for literally no reason.
Yeah, so the Nazis did not invade the Soviet Union in the winter. They invaded in June, so right at the beginning of the summer. They wanted to invade in May, but they were delayed because the Italians had a failed invasion of Greece and they needed help. So Hitler had to divert his troops south to go take Greece for the Italians, which pushed his plans back a month. But even if the invasion had started when Hitler wanted it to in May, I still don't think it would have defeated the Soviet Union. They may have taken Moscow, but even if they had taken Moscow, the Soviets would have kept fighting, and eventually the Soviets were just going to overwhelm the Nazis. So I don't think that would have mattered.
So let's flip that. Germany invades the USSR in the summer, finishes them off, blitzes Britain before they regroup, and makes peace with the US. It's wild, but honestly, doable. Ireland was neutral, so the Nazis could have hopped right into mainland Britain if they kept the pace and didn't have to worry about the Irish.
Yeah, so the Irish were neutral, but getting to Ireland was an impossible task for the Germans. The German Luftwaffe and the Kriegsmarine were just not capable of defeating the Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force. Historically, they proved the Luftwaffe was unable to defeat the Royal Air Force with the Battle of Britain. The Royal Air Force defeated the Luftwaffe, and the Kriegsmarine just had no chance against the Royal Navy. So getting to Ireland would have been impossible. So maybe if you had a what if they had landed in Ireland and was able to invade the UK, maybe, but that's a big what if. I don't think they would have ever been able to get to Ireland.
And don't forget, early in the war, much of the US public was weirdly pro-German. If the Nazis hadn't opened the gas chambers, maybe the sympathy would have lasted. Okay, so now...
Yeah, so the public was largely pro-German, but the government of the US was very anti-German. In the lead up to World War II, or during the beginning of World War II, when the Germans were fighting France and Britain and Russia, all of the American material goods were going to the Allies exclusively. They were not giving any of it to the Germans. The US government was very confident in what side of the war they wanted to be on.
Now the Reich grows from this to this. What now? Well, instead of fantasizing, let's look at the past massive empires. Remember the Roman Empire? Too big to hold. Too many people forced under one flag. You can't slap an eagle on everyone's passport and expect harmony. So, best case scenario, the German Empire splits in half. An Eastern Reich, a Western Reich. One thrives, one will eventually rot. Same old imperial cycle. Eventually, the rotting Reich falls apart. Groups come together to set up countries again, and they start to harass the other Reich till that one too loses its Lebensraum. And in the end, Germany is right back where it started. Oh well, time for World War III.